What's the one thing that makes people stop scrolling, sit up and listen? It is storytelling. And today I'm going to show you how to use stories, even the simple ones, to connect deeply with your audience, whether you are on stage, on a video, or in a meeting. Hi, I'm Fatha Khan. I help coaches, consultants, and mid-career professionals communicate with impact and build authority. In this video, I'll break down 3 simple storytelling techniques that work. Even if you think you're not good at telling stories, and this is going to help you. So hit like, subscribe, and let's dive in. Why do you think stories work? Here's the truth. People don't remember facts, they remember how you made them feel. And stories create emotions. Stories will help to build trust. Stories help in terms of making ideas stick. Stories make you relatable. Now think of an example. I want you to think of any TED Talk that stayed with you or any keynote speech that stayed with you. I bet it either started with a story or had a story in it. I still remember my TEDx. A lot of people, they still remember because of the story I shared. There was a crow story I shared and they still remember and they still actually remind me of the story that was used there. Right? So it's a story that makes it more powerful. And then number 2 is the simple storytelling formula. You don't need to be a novelist to tell great stories. Here is a simple structure you can use. Set the scene, when and where, introduce a challenge, what went wrong or needed to change, share the turning point, what happened next, deliver the takeaway, what did you or they learn from there. Example, let's say, right, there is a story. Last year, I stood backstage at my first big speaking event. My hands were shaking, but what happened next taught me the biggest lesson about courage. Do you notice how it pulls you in? Every story actually helps people to engage. Now, if you look at all the movies, basically, the super hit movies, the movies you would have loved the most, they follow this particular format where they are talking about the structure. You actually, like, if you have not noticed, I want you to think of it. Maybe like next time when you're watching a movie, your favorite movie, consciously notice or make a note of it. Like, hey, what is the structure of it? You will find this structure. And this is the same structure, which is like an evergreen structure you can always use to share stories. And then you need to make it personal, make it relatable, because your audience connects with you. They are not looking for a perfect story or they are not looking for a perfect narrative. They are connecting with you personally. So share your real struggles, not just your wins. Use the simple language, no jargons. Focus on the moments your audience can see in their mind. And instead of, I improved my business, try saying, I started at an empty inbox and wondered if I would ever get a client. Like, if I have to actually give them from a practical example, right? This is how my journey of a book started, right? When I started my book writing journey, I did not know how to write a book. I was not someone who was reading a lot of books. I started reading more books because I wanted to write a book and become a good author. And at that time, there was a lot of self-doubt. I doubted myself. I used to tell myself, there was a self-talk always going on. Fatha, you an author? How can you become an author? You have never written a book, or your English is not good, right? Who will read your book? All these kind of self-doubt and self-thoughts that stop me. I'm sure if you are listening to it, you are also able to resonate with it. How when you start any journey, there is a lot of self-doubt. So this is the kind of story, when you actually use your personal story, it connects with the audience. Audience can resonate with it. And then the next thing you need to do is bring stories into any communication. Like, the best way of learning or implementing something is, as soon as you learn that, you start implementing it. You don't have to wait for a stage. You can use stories in what? Meetings. If you are a corporate professional or even if you're an entrepreneur, you're doing meetings. Share how you solved a problem in a meeting using a story framework. Right? In your sales calls, you can tell a client success story using stories. Social media, share behind the scene moments by using stories. Right? You can start small. Tell one story this week in a conversation or a post. It can be a video content, it can be a written content. End with the message in terms of, whenever you are having a story, end with a powerful message. What people can take away from there. Don't let your story drift. Always close with a point. Ask yourself, what's the lesson I want them to remember? Tie it back to your main message so that it lands with impact. So Here's your challenge. Before your next talk or your next social media post, use this formula: the scene, the challenge, the turning point, and the takeaway. Use this structure, create a story, and go ahead and share that story. And once you are done with that, comment below, right? Or even now you can comment below what's that one story you could share this week to connect better. And also check the description for my free storytelling guide and also a masterclass invite for becoming a better communicator. If this video has helped you, like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who wants to level up their communication. Let's keep sharing our journeys, our stories, because your story is the most powerful asset, and storytelling is the best way to interact, engage, and impact people's lives. Thank you.